Hello, everybody. And marvelous that it is to see you all again out there, you wonderful little people, and some of you big people as well, and some of you medium sized people. In fact, whatever size you are, we don't mind, we don't care on this show. All that we care about is that for the next 20, 30 minutes, Beth is here with us, and Beth will make the world a better place for all of us by talking to us about her and her music. We shall be talking to Beth very shortly, straight after this, in fact.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
Beth, thank you so much for maintaining all composure today, because I know that you've been out and about, and yet you were struggling to get back here in time to do this. But that's brilliant that you did that, because cars and public transport and people on roads and buses and planes and trains, it's so much, isn't it?
Thanks, Graham. Thanks for having me.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. And I love your little studio with, is that strip lighting in the background just to brighten it all up and make us all feel better? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, it's basically strip lighting it, so you can't really tell what the colour is. It's actually kind of a bright orangey red at the moment. Then we've got like that light beam in the corner. We're surrounded by LED lights in this studio. So we've got my husband's drum kit, we've got the custom made keyboard my husband made and built himself, and then we've got my clavinet over here, and I've got my door there. So yeah, it's all very, lots of instruments everywhere, loads of guitars over there as well.
Hang on, he built a keyboard.
Yeah, well, this one technically was already a shell, but he
Right.
reconfigured the motherboard and coded his own sounds in using Synthian. So yeah, he's now created his own patches on this one. So this is a work in progress. We're trying out the sounds, and we're going to see whether we're going to take it out to gigs and stuff. So yeah, so work in progress.
Now that sounds both exciting and frightening at the same time.
Yeah.
Because if you've got a keyboard that's like bespoke like that, that means if that thing goes down, then where do you go? Where you can't get another one of those. You can't pop down Halfords and buy another one, can you?
That's the thing. It's especially unique to us. To be fair, my husband's a genius. He could probably recode it one back up in another couple of days. If you can do anything with a shell keyboard, you can literally reconfigure the motherboard and download things and upgrade. And yeah, he's so clever. He's a software engineer, so he's very much a whiz on these sort of technical things.
I love that. I love that. Did you bond over geekiness of instruments or whatever? Is that how you met each other? That's a lovely thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so funny. We actually are both nerds, but in a totally different way. So he is nerdy and geeky with his computer stuff and with his engineering and mechanics and electronics. And I'm geeky and nerdy with my kind of art knowledge. I did a design degree, so I used to go to like art galleries a lot. I used to nerd out in front of massive like art exhibitions and museums, and also with songwriting, of course, and producing. I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to that, and drawing as well. One of my main passions is drawing and painting. So yeah, I have a very much creative side. So we both bonded over our nerdiness, but in different ways. And we met a few mutual friends and family, and we just clicked. And yeah, the rest is history.
That's amazing. Do you have nights in where like you're just like fiddling with stuff, like you're doing some art and he's soldering and programming and whatever, and then someone says, packet of peanuts? Yeah, okay.
That's not far from the truth, Graham, to be fair. Sometimes he'll have his laptop, we're watching a movie in the background, he'll have his laptop, he's coding away with his headphones on, or sometimes without, depending on if he's listening to the film. And then I'll be sat there either doodling in my sketchbook or creating little accessories that I like to create as part of my merchandise. I've got like a little 3D printed accessory side quest. So I'll be doing that, or I'll just be, chilling out, creating a video for Instagram, editing content, that kind of thing. But yeah, so we're very much focused on our own little world. Sometimes he'll be in his man cave, aka his garage, and I'll be here in my studio playing around. And yeah, so it's we're very much in our own little zones, but we like to spend time together whilst we do that.
That's nice. Together in electric dreams,
Together in electric dreams.
as
So
someone
yes.
once wrote. Yeah,
There's always a song
absolutely.
for everything.
Oh, are you one of those? I'm always one of those. I get told off for
Oh yeah.
doing that though. I
No,
get
Graham.
so
We're
told off.
kindred spirits. I love it. I genuinely, you can't take me anywhere. I even went to my friend's gig last night and I ended up bursting into song, like right in the middle of my own sentence. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I can't contain myself.
Yeah. Well, there's some songs that are just like, you know, obvious and just like you're straight in there, straight for it and whatever, you know. Great sentences like, you know, it means nothing for me, and you're straight into Vienna. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or do you remember?
Yeah. Oh, dawn escapes from moonwashed college halls. You know, cherry blossoms in the market square, all of that sort of thing. Yeah,
All of those. Or
yeah.
if the moment somebody goes, oh help, I'll be like, I need somebody.
Eh.
Never ending. It's like almost torture, because especially as a musician or a creative or if a music lover, you're kind of stuffed because your whole life is just literally one big lyric after another.
Oh, it is. It's so true. You know, it's funny how it seems, but oh dear. Are you like that with other things? Are you like that with jokes and stuff as well? Do you like are you a bit of a, you know, sort of mum joke type person?
Ooh.
Do you remember jokes and tell them?
I wouldn't say no, I don't really have jokes, but some people say I'm funny. Some people, because I'm quite an ironic sort of humour person. So I'm obviously from the Northwest originally, so I've got northern humour. So I find some like really daft situations in life really funny. So I'll come out with one-liners occasionally, like about ironic situations that are funny, but it's kind of hilarious. You know how some things just happen. But I don't really have jokes up my sleeve, not like any dad or mum jokes, sadly. But how about yourself?
There's always like really obvious. There's some jokes that just come out over and over again because they're just so good. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a single joke that you that you know that you like always tell or not?
I wouldn't say it's a joke. It's more of a comeback line.
Okay, go for it.
This is my comeback line. So whenever I get like hate comments or bots on the internet, I then comment back. Sometimes it's very rare. Sometimes I haven't got the energy, but if I'm feeling a bit, you know, gumptuous, I'm like, do you know what? I say, do you have a hook? And they're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Do I have a hook? I'm like, well, if you have a hook, it means you can sling it.
Nice. Love that. Love that.
So it works every time and I never get any response back. It just ends, it kills off the Facebook argument or IG argument. It's brilliant. It's basically just like, have you got a hook, mate? And he's like, no or yes. I'm like, well, regardless, you can sling it. Or maybe, do you fancy slinging it? Or do you know what? I mix it up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
leaves them going,
I
didn't
like
expect that. I'm like, yeah, you did.
I like that. I'll share you with you my my wife's favourite joke, which is two cows in a field.
Yeah.
One says moo, the other says you. I wanted to say that, which I think
that
is
reminds
really
me of Phoebe Buffay's song for a friend. The cow in the meadow goes moo. Oh, the cow in the meadow goes moo.
exactly that. It's really good though, isn't it? It's really good.
That is a good one. I mean, obviously they didn't patent the word mew, so sadly, you know, cows are going to have a massive court case in front of them.
You're quite a bubbly person. I get that from sort of like watching you online, your Instagram, etc. You know, your little reels about you. You're very bubbly, and then you do this music and you open your mouth and this like soulful bluesy voice comes out. You're almost like a sort of paradox in a way, aren't you? It's you'd almost expect you to just be like bubble pop. Some of the kind of like joyousness of you as a person, and then there's this kind of deeper resonance in the kind of music you make. Can you explain yourself to the world?
Explain yourself. Explain it now.
yourself.
I feel like I'm in detention. Explain yourself.
Yeah.
No, thanks, Graham. That's really kind of you to say. Yeah, it's funny. I'm thanks for saying that I'm a bubbly person. Like, I like to think that that's the way I want to come across, like positive, upbeat, energetic, bubbly. Yeah, and just kind of spreading that light and positivity in the world. I'd like to say, yeah, I think my voice, it definitely lends itself to quite a few genres. I think that's where some people go, oh, I didn't expect that because, oh, I wasn't expecting that tone or that range, or because I'm very versatile vocally. So I can sing country, I can sing jazz, I can sing rock. I'm actually in a rock band at the moment.
Oh.
And yeah, in a covers rock band. But I can also do R&B and pop. So it's kind of like, I love the fact I'm very versatile and multi-genre, but at the same time, it's good to kind of find your little niche and kind of, stick in that, but I'm still exploring. But yeah, a lot of people don't expect that. They think I'm like the your bubble pop kind of girl, which I do have a few songs like that, to be fair. But I'm always experimenting. I'm always pushing the boundaries, trying to figure out, what fresh sounds can I come up with now? Because it's fun. Like I can probably do your dance anthems. I've already guest vocaled on a drum and bass track as well. Loads of people say, "Oh, Betty, you could totally do drum and bass," and I'm like, okay. So yeah, I'm just up for anything. I'm up for being a vocalist on anything, to be honest with you.
What's your range? Do you know what your range is technically? What your range is? Where do you start? Where do you end?
I wish I could say I knew. I don't know if I can do a high A. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll have to let's just have a play. I can get that high. Anyway, that's quite high, but I'm semi warmed up. I've just been busking, so
yeah. But
yeah.
what about down? What about down there?
To really
Yeah.
down there. Let's have a go for down there.
Let's go down there.
Do some Barry White.
Oh. That's low. That's getting low. That's going low. Hey, baby.
Sound like something out of Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey. we won't go that. I think I can sing a couple of octaves. Let's just say that I can if I really trained my voice, I can actually hit the top note in My Heart Will Go On. That's something I've been really learning with my breathing. So you're here, there's nothing I fear. But that's not. I don't think that's right. That's the key below, I think. But I can do the original key, but I have to really warm up and I have to really get my breathing right and I have to like focus my mind. So yeah, it's one of those where I love to sing different genres, but I love to kind of surprise people as well. And because in my current single, I'm rapping in it. Like, I don't think anyone saw that coming on their 25 bingo card. So
I've always been told by my kids not to rap. Do you know what I mean? It's like singing's one thing, right? But then rapping, they just think that's embarrassing, right? When you start to rap. I love to make up dad raps, which is basically where you just like, and I tried something for the first time ever yesterday. I have to tell you this. I tried, and if you want to annoy your kids, please play along at home because this is marvelous. I asked ChatGPT, other AIs are available. I got it to listen to a Sabrina Carpenter track. My 11-year-old is absolutely besotted by Sabrina Carpenter, and she knows everything about Sabrina Carpenter, knows all the words to all of the songs, and I can't even remember which track it was from the current album. But there's a song on there that has quite long introductory pieces into it without any singing, and of course for me that immediately makes me think I've got to rap over that. I have to, because I'm a dad and that's just the way it is. But I wanted to see whether I could actually get something that's of the right flavor for it, that's a flavor without the U. And so what I said, I got ChatGPT to listen to the song, and work out because it would know what the lyrics are to the song because it knows everything, and then write a rap that would fit in. It was pretty good, actually. It was
That
pretty,
is incredible. Yeah, it's amazing what AI and ChatGPT can do. It's honestly so clever. I can't believe. I mean, we're out of a job almost because it's so good.
I honestly, I don't know. I just going to see whether I've still got it, because that would have been quite interesting. Oh, here we are. Rap verse creation. Here you are.
Go on, it's your audition. I can be Simon Cowell.
I'm not doing it right now. Oh yes. So the song was "Don't Smile" by Sabrina Carpenter. Do you know that one?
I don't know that one. I know a few of hers though, like Please, 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 Espresso,
Yeah.
etc.
Okay. And it's written it with the maintaining the song's clever, self-aware, and slightly cheeky tone. And the rap that it came up with was this: "I know what you're thinking when I bite my lip, like I planned this outfit just to make you trip." Love that, isn't it? Great. A little mascara, now I'm dangerous, but I'm not your doll. Don't be playing us. I mean, honestly, what genius! I mean, that will be appearing on the double deluxe edition of Sabrina Carpenter's
Yeah.
album.
Guest Graham Coath, guest rapper.
Well, you could do it, Beth. You could whiz in there and just record that, and you know, you could use your low voice for that.
Oh yeah.
And it would all be marvelous. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of frightening. But congratulations to you for doing a rap, because that takes real guts, I feel.
Thank you, Graham. Yeah, do you know, I've performed it live a couple of times on stage so far, and it's been really fun. Like the reception's been great, and obviously, I'm not your usual. I mean, for me personally, I don't think age is an issue in the industry myself personally, but I know to some people it's like, oh, who's this old 30+ person, rapping? Who does she think she is? But I'm so glad and proud of myself to get to that stage of my life where people are probably thinking, who does she think she is? Rapping at her age, who does she think she is, Miss Dynamite or Alicia Dixon? And I'm like, well, actually, yeah, they're kind of older than me, and they're still rapping, and they're still smashing it, and they're still making waves in the music industry. So why can't I? And actually, I'm not trying to be Eminem, and I think it's cool. I'm not cool enough, but I can own that. I know I'm not cool enough, but I own the fact that I'm not a born natural rapper. But actually, one of my friends, bless him, Exit, he actually told me that he liked my rapping and he thought it was good. So, and he's a rapper. He's a proper rapper. So I'm not trying to go into a rap career. Do you know what I mean? It's just nice to have in the odd song, just to kind of show that I have got that versatility and that I'm not afraid to push the boundaries. And if I fall flat on my face for it, so what? At least I tried it.
Oh, do you know what? I find you're incredibly endearing. I feel like, I think one of the things that probably people love about you is that actually you're just really open and honest about doing this stuff for the sheer joy and pleasure of it. There's actually some really miserable people out there in the music world who kind of like take everything overly seriously, and it's lovely that someone like you comes along and just you can see the absolute joy that you have in making music. That's a beautiful thing. Do you feel like that's one of the reasons why people are sort of happy to support you and come along with the journey, because they just see, like, they see the joy that it brings you, and then it brings them joy to see the joy.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a great way to say it, actually. Thanks for that description. Yeah, I never really thought of it that way, but actually I'd like to think that people, yeah, latch onto me and enjoy my music because of, I'm trying to be authentic. I'm trying not to be anybody else. I'm just trying to be myself. And also I'm not afraid to share my failures. I'm not afraid to show that I am a human being. I can completely get it wrong, and that it's okay to fall flat on your face in public. Because what was it? Ed Sheeran said, success isn't what it's all about. Failure is more important, because in order to be successful, you have to fail. So failure is so much more important than success. And I haven't got a big hit. I haven't been on, all these amazing radio stations, high profile ones. I haven't performed at any massive festival, or I haven't broke out in that respect, and I'm not expecting to. But at the end of the day, I just do it because I love it, and I think that's the main thing. Just do music regardless. And I was watching a podcast the other day, and I think it was I can't remember who it was who said this, but it was like, imagine if Stevie Wonder was never famous, would he still be doing music? Absolutely, yes. So it just goes to show, like, some people think that when you're a musician, they think, oh, you have to be famous to have all these followers and have all this support, and that's great, you know. I mean, it would be lovely to have more support, I'm not gonna lie. But it's just really nice to know that there are some really lovely, genuine, like-minded people out there, beautiful, amazing, incredible friends that I've made as well along the way, and lovely people like yourself who want to support and champion, and people like me who just really want to connect and grow together and journey with me on this crazy long and winding road. And it's just really nice to know that people connect with my music as well. I'd like to think that they like my music just as much as they like me. But I know personality has a huge part to play in it as well. So but yeah, I just hope my music speaks for itself, to be honest with you. And at the same time, yeah, I like to think that people follow me and support me because they can relate to just me trying to share my life on a real level, you know. Like, I'm not trying to paint it, or you know, how I cherry gloss it over or anything like that. Yeah, I think it's just about just being real and keeping it real and just saying it as it is. And yeah, that's kind of how.
Oh, love that. I just thought I'd let you talk for a minute because it was a beautiful thing. I always give people ideas for like merchandise and t-shirts and whatever, and I do feel, Beth, like you should have a t-shirt that just says like I'm having a better day because of Beth Merill. I just think that's what it should say.
Oh, that's so
I,
sweet.
I think that would be a great. I think that would be a great thing. Don't you think people would love that? They're
I don't
just like,
know.
yeah, no, I do. Look, make one and I'll wear it. I just think you should like have a picture of you like jumping like that. There should be like some flowers and some joy and some you know, musical notes going in the air and whatever. And then it should just say, "I'm having a better day because of Beth Merill," and then maybe some lyrics to one of your songs on the back. I think that would be marvelous.
Oh, that's a great idea, Graham. Thank you. I mean, to be fair, I don't know if it would come across quite narcissistic of me to be like, you know,
No,
buy my shirt. It's all about
let
me.
no. Well, let's just put it to the vote. Anybody out there, just you know, let us know if you'd like to buy a Beth Merill t-shirt, because you just feel like, you know, she brings a joyous moment. Then you know, just let us know, and we'll see if that becomes a popular thing. You have to do it. You have to make it. You know, you have to make it happen and whatever.
Well,
Now, tell us. You're in the wonderful county of Bedfordshire, which is where, you know, where I was born and bred, and where I grew up. Yeah. Do you know? Because I have to ask everybody that I now find that comes from there. Do you know where the place where I grew up? Do you know Wootton?
Wooten, yeah, that's up the road, isn't it? That's actually going to be where the Universal Studios is going to be. Is that right?
Well, apparently they're building a new and sort of on the cusp of building like a Universal Studios in there. But when I was in Wootton years ago, there was only about 3,500 people and more cows than there were humans. And at the time, do you know there's a place nearby as well called Stuartby?
I've heard of that. Yeah, I
Stuartby.
probably drove past Wooten. I saw signs because I was in Milton Keynes just now. So yeah, it's not
Yeah.
far from there, is it?
Central Milton Keynes, shopping as it should be, which was their logo. As I was saying to someone the other day, you do need to go and find an old video from the 1970s when Milton Keynes was built, and just see the beauty that was the original advert for Milton Keynes when they first built it. It was this marvelous thing. But yeah, we had a place called Stuartby nearby, and I remember one day as a kid, we all that's where the old brickworks were. That's where they used to make bricks,
Oh, right.
and there were these massive chimneys. And one day we all went out onto the street and we watched those chimneys being exploded, and you could feel it, the dust and the sound coming, yeah, from
My gosh.
like a mile or two away as these chimneys hit the ground. And it was
Wow.
and it's kind of like that whole place now, from the point when those chimneys came down, everything else went up, and it's like it's a sprawling metropolis now. It's kind of almost like built into Bedford, and you know, Bedford's kind of just expanded into all these surrounding areas.
They've
But
all merged into little places now, haven't they? Yeah.
back in the day, there was just a tiny little village with a few people, and everybody knew each other. And
I love that though.
what a wonderful thing. And that's why I've moved to Somerset, where it's still like that. You know,
I was going to say, you kept that kind of authentic kind of town where everybody knows each. I love that community feel and aspect. Talking about Two Chimneys, you reminded me because I grew up half my childhood in Letchworth in
right?
Hertfordshire, and they used to have two chimneys and the industrial estate there. And they have a pub there called the Two Chimneys, ironically.
Okay.
And I just remember one minute they were there, next minute they were also knocked down. It must have been a thing in the three counties where they just got rid of the two chimneys. Like,
Do you know? Do you remember like that little movie that I think Pixar or whoever it is that made Moana made about the mountains, like the
yes,
precursor to like they show it before Moana came on, right? And it was like what one went under the sea and then they came back up, and it was kind of like a love story. You need to write a song about two chimneys, and it's basically like the love story of these two chimneys.
yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Like the two chimneys in Witton and the two chimneys in Letchworth, they can see each other from the skyline. But they know
Yeah.
they're going to be knocked down. It's only a
Oh,
matter of time that they only have so much time left to smoke. That sounds cool. I'll add
smoking
it to my album ideas list.
smoking is bad for you, though, children. Remember that.
Yes, that could be the tagline. Smoking, not like the mask, but don't smoke.
Yeah, don't smoke. Watch your doey. But yeah, no, what a great idea. What have you got any songwriting ideas that are permeating at the moment? Is there something else on the horizon which we ought to know about?
Yeah, sure. Actually, at the moment, this year, I'm trying to release my second EP. So I've got all the songs written. They're all pretty much produced. I'm just currently working with an amazing producer to kind of sound and mix and also add his own amazing creativity to it. So we're just working on some songs. It's all about social media. So all the songs are pretty much complete. I've released Unplug, my first one, all about scrolling and being addicted to your phone. The next one is a collaboration with my friend Exit, who I mentioned earlier, who's rapping on it. And it's called DMs. It's all about people DMing you and spamming you and scamming you online. You know how you get all these randoms who slip into your DMs who are like, hey, let's work together. And you're like, who are you? And you haven't got a clue. And they're like selling you something dodgy and they like live like 1,000 miles away. And they're like so unlegitimate. It's ridiculous.
I have been looking at your YouTube, and you're not doing it right. I love the way these people try and sell as well by telling you. I always say to them, I always go back to them and I say, if you're trying to sell to me, wouldn't it be a really good idea not to start off by saying just how awful I am?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Rather than go, you're doing it all wrong, right? Why not start with, hey, well, in fact, actually, they quite often do. You've got great output, but you're doing it all wrong. It's like, I don't care, right? No, I don't care. Yes, we'll give you 1 million followers. I don't want 1 million followers. I do not want 1 million followers. What I do want is I want genuine followers. I don't want to buy in followers. I don't want your followers who you've paid to support me, because I'm going to pay you, so then you pay them to support.
I don't want click farms.
I don't want a click farm. I don't want any of this. You say I'm doing it all wrong. You say I'm doing my SEO all wrong. You say I'm doing like that. Do you know what? I don't care.
I know,
All
right?
right.
I'd want people like you to not message me, okay? Because you know what's really annoying? On my website, bethmerill.com, I have a form where you fill out to get in contact with me. And sometimes I get so many bots or so many like people who are trying to like sell me something and saying the same old BS. And it's just like, I think I've got a genuine inquiry and I get excited. I'm like, oh, yay, finally somebody wants to work with me or book with me. And I just get this, and it's just another schmuck going, we think you need to improve this. Here's our services. Click it. I'm like, it's such a waste of my life. And this is another thing. This is why DMs is so like this song means so much, because it's the next single off the EP, and it's basically sticking your fingers up to those people who waste your time essentially. And yeah, we ain't got time to waste. And I'm not going to be fooled. I'm not going to be tricked into believing that you're genuine or legit, because I know you're not.
And you know what? Back in the day, folks, DMs used to be the shoes that you used to wear,
Doc Martens, of course. Yeah.
right?
See, I'm not
You
that
know,
old.
when I was a student, it was like DMs. Yeah, that's Doc Martens. Right nowadays, it's all of this. I think social media is a great subject. That's going to resonate with an awful lot of people.
I hope so. That's my hope, and the younger generation as well. And another one of my songs on there, which I'm hoping to release as well, or might just release with the EP, is basically all about saying "move it along" to those bots who comment negative things. So like if you ain't, one of the lyrics is, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, just move it along. And it's basically just like, on your bike, mate. It's basically one of those like, I haven't got time for this negativity in my life, and I'm just gonna pretend that I'm just chucking you in the bin, so I can move on in peace, and with the serenity, and with my own self-confidence, that and assurance that I don't need these randomers online who I've never met and probably never will, I don't care to ever meet, who just got negative things to say or just want to take a punch at someone. I like, so yeah, I'm hoping that it really helps the younger generation, or anyone who struggles with their self-esteem or trying to put themselves out there, because it's so hard, like being an artist in the first place, putting yourself out there and never knowing what reception you're going to get. And yeah, you are essentially, anyone who does do that, it's expected you're going to get people who are going to backlash at you, who are going to give you the third degree or make you feel small or try and stop you, make you feel like, oh no, you shouldn't don't be loud, shrink and be small because we want to control you. I'm like, no, actually, no. This is my social media.
I think that's very necessary, because there's a lot of people that will suffer with their mental health if they listen to all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, as a kind of sort of other element to that as well, folks, if you want to do that, if you want to argue with someone on social media, if you want to disagree, if you want to challenge, if you want to sort of bring the conversation, whatever, don't do it with Beth, do it with me, right? Because I love it. You can do it all day long, and I'll just keep going. So I openly encourage it all of the time. I want to be challenged. I want people to challenge me. I want people to bring the argument. I want people to do all of that. Do it. Just saying.
I'll send it your way.
I will happily take you on, and you'll lose. But there we go. Every single day. But that's different people, different ways of life. I mean, I personally, you see, I feel slightly I feel slightly the other way, in that what I'm a bit fed up of is like people sanitizing their feed by like blocking anybody that wants to have a conversation, not disagree in a nasty way, but just wants to have a conversation about something, and maybe has a difference of opinion. Because
Yeah.
personally, I think that we only learn by having differences of opinion. I think we only learn when we start listening to each other. So, I mean, if someone's nasty to me, I'm just going to tell them that they're being nasty, and that I love them. Because do you know what? When you tell them that you love them, they often disappear. It's funny that,
Yeah.
right? They don't like it. Then they just don't get it.
Yeah.
They want you to react all kind of nasty, but when you tell them that you really love them, and maybe we should meet up for a pint, they just go away.
Kill them with kindness.
Kill,
that. Have you got a hook?
kill everybody with kindness. Absolutely. Yeah. Beth, it's been beautiful meeting you today. Thank you for coming and talking a little bit about your music. Latest song that's going to come out is going to be?
It's going to be DMs. Although
DMs.
I have got a really special song that I've been working on. Well, I wrote it 2 years ago, and I produced it myself, and it's so overdue. But it's called "I Will Thrive," and it's basically about all my journey about unmasking weight loss, self-discovery, self-love, and just beginning to come into my own. I'm doing it so much later in life, but I'm one of those people who's standing up for those who are a bit older, late bloomers, and it's called "I Will Thrive," and it's basically about just yeah, not just surviving but thriving, and that's one of my main key songs I'm hoping to get out this year, which is nearly ready. Yeah, that's what I'd like to get out, and because I think with it being 2025, this is the year to thrive because it rhymes. But also, I just really think it's going to really encourage a lot of people who struggle with their mental health as well, struggle with their identity, struggle with masking like I was doing for many years, and just learning to love themselves. And I think that's mainly what my big single of the year is going to be, as well as my EP. But I've got so many more ideas and so many more songs in me that need to come out, and a whole other album idea. And you know how it is, the list is endless when you're a creative. It's like you've got too many things in your head, and there's not enough time in the universe to get them out. So
Oh, Beth, you're a little bundle of joy, and thank you, thank everybody for that. Next time, by the way, we need to get your husband on just to give us a nerdy introduction to how he built a keyboard. I mean, I think that's amazing as well.
I will, yeah.
Say hi to him as well. This has been a wonderful Beth Merill. If you haven't heard Beth's music, do go and check it out now. That's the whole point of this. You get to hear a little bit about Beth and her story and where she's from and where she's coming from and what's going on inside her brain and in her heart and everything else. And then afterwards, what you do is you go and you check out the music, because you now know a little bit about the person and the story behind it all. Right. And that's why we never play any music on this program, because if we played the music, you probably feel like you've had your 20 seconds worth, and then you kind of lose interest. But we want you to have a deeper connection with people. And once you have that, then let you explore that interest, and then when you make the connection will carry on and on, you see. And that's a wonderful thing. And that's what we used to do years ago, when we had to line up outside Woolworths and queue for hours in the cold in order to buy the single of our favorite person. But you don't need to do that now. You just literally turn on the box in the corner of the room and it plays it to you. You're very lucky. You don't know how lucky you are, but just give back to the people that make the music, because otherwise one day they'll stop making it and you'll listen to nothing, and that will be a really bad world. So cool, that was a bit bleak. Anyway.
No, well said. I miss those days in Woolworths. I miss going to buy the physical single. My first ever single was Fatboy Slim Praise You. And I remember just loving that feeling of going to, my first ever cassette was Kylie Minogue, I think it was. But like that first CD with my pocket money, I was just, I could not wait to get myself. I think it was Virgin Records or something like HMV back in the day. And I was so stoked. I was like 9 or 10, and I was like, I have the money to buy my first record,
I started at a much younger age than you, Beth. I honestly, and obviously I'm a lot older than you. So my first, and I've told people this before. You may have seen this if you watch some of the episodes a long way back, you will have heard this story before. But I'll tell everyone again. My first single and my first album were not cool in the slightest. And that's because I was young enough for it not to be cool. And I'm not going to pretend that I listened to my first album or single, whatever was Echo and the Bunnymen or The Cure or something like that. My first single was Pete's Dragon, the theme tune from the original Disney film, not the remake. And my first album was Father Abraham in Smurfland, and it really was that bad. But there you go. There you go.
That's why you're so musically well-rounded. You've got to have those different elements to your catalogue,
Go and check out Beer, Smurfing Beer. You don't get drunk and it isn't dear. That's a wrap. And
I was going to say.
This is the marvellous Beth Merill. We'll be back soon with more of my music. Go and check out Beth's music now. If you've enjoyed this, please do go and share it with your friends and family. And of course, you can check out the story behind all of this and connect in at the My Music community, which is now grown to 60 people. And I will be inviting Beth in for free straight after this, and growing every single day. That you can all check out at mymusicpodcast.com. We'll be back soon. Until then, bye.